Kathleen Kennedy wants to leave Lucasfilm, but only after a big win. So she's gonna be here a while. Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. Star Wars fans the world over have been waiting for years to celebrate in the streets upon the announcement that Kathleen Kennedy, the Wicked Witch of Lucasfilm, has left the company to enjoy a quiet retirement with her loved ones. We've seen rumor after rumor over the years stating that she was stepping down or that she'd been removed from her position, but she always remains. And you gotta hand it to Kathy, she's 71 years old and has more money than God. She's never had to work another day in her life, but she chooses to get up out of bed every day, come to work, and ruin Star Wars for everyone. Just this week, I was a guest panelist on the Pro Show with WDWPro, and we were discussing D23 and the Star Wars presence at this event. That was when Film Threat's Chris Gore made a surprise appearance on the show to talk about what he and his co-host, Alan Ng, were doing for coverage at the event. And he dropped a bomb on us about insider information he received regarding Kennedy and her term at Lucasfilm. So, let's discuss it with our pal Kevin Apollo on Tooney Town TV. All right, it's time to talk about Star Wars, and when we talk about Star Wars, one of my favorite people to have with me is my best friend in the whole world, the American way, Kevin Apollo, my co-host for Tooney Talk Wrestling every Thursday. Kevin Apollo, are you ready to talk about the Wicked Witch of Lucasfilm?
Oh Lord, it's Kathleen time. Let's rock.
Yeah. So now we are actually going to be talking about a piece from that Park Place, written by yours truly, written by me. This is a first for me, covering my own article. So not only did I write the article, but I was actually present. I was present when this news dropped, when it broke. So we're going to have a lot of insight on this one. All right, over on that Park Place, Kathleen Kennedy ready to retire, but is waiting for a win, according to entertainment analysts by Marvin Montanero. Yeah, did you all think my last name was Movie Monster? Come on.
I've known you for years. This was a shock.
Yeah, I know. Kathleen Kennedy apparently has something in common with much of the Star Wars fan base. She wants Kathleen Kennedy to leave Lucasfilm. But according to Film Threat's Chris Gore, she's only willing to walk out the door under one condition. Namely, she wants to leave on the heels of a massive critical and commercial success. That's something Lucasfilm hasn't experienced in quite some time. Kev, I am afraid that we are going to be stuck with Kathleen Kennedy for a very, very long time.
Yeah, this might as well have just said Kathleen is going to be there in perpetuity because them days are done.
She's the only way she's ever leaving Lucasfilm is feet first, apparently.
Oof, this news is DOA like Lucasfilm.
So, since Disney's initial acquisition of Lucasfilm in 2012, the company's been under the direction of film industry veteran Kathleen Kennedy. Back then, the longtime George Lucas and Steven Spielberg associate promised George that she would take care of his life's work. She has done anything but. Under Kennedy, the Star Wars franchise has gone from the most evergreen IP of all time to a sour note punching bag for YouTube and streamers the world over. Kennedy presided over the deeply empire. We all know what she's done, Marvin. Yeah. Come on. We don't need to talk about all this. So people have been asking these unifying questions. When will Kathleen Kennedy leave Star Wars? When will Disney fire Kathleen Kennedy? How does Kathleen Kennedy still have a job? Well, that was answered on the Pro Show with WDWPro, that Kathleen Kennedy actually wants to leave Lucasfilm. So this was, so we were on the Pro Show, and this is the episode up here. I will link to the full episode in the description. But we were on the show, and Chris Gore popped in from Film Threat, which was a big surprise. He was not advertised for the show. He popped in, and he brought up this whole thing. He said, so Pro said to him, "We've been hearing lately that Kathleen Kennedy is not very hands-on with Star Wars at this point. Are you hearing anything similar that she may be operating in title only, at least for now?" Gore then confirmed that he was hearing similar rumblings before dropping a bit more information. She wants to retire and leave, Gore said, but she wants to do that on a win.
So what are we supposed to wait for this imaginary Rey movie to come out, and then we're supposed to magically pretend like people want to see this imaginary Rey movie?
No, we were sitting there on the stream, and I think the first thing that I said to Chris was, I'm like, "Oh man, we really all got to pretend that we like Skeleton Crew, don't we?"
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about the Dave wants his own cute baby to sell merchandise. The TV show.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to just all pretend that this is the greatest thing ever, so that she leaves. It's like, oh my god, it's like trying to trick a ghost to cross over to the other side. But Yeah, Gore went on to say that in order to leave, Kathleen Kennedy wants a huge success that she can ride into retirement. This could be a smash hit television show or a major box office victory with a theatrical release. In other words, she wants to go out on a high note like George Costanza on Seinfeld.
All right, that's it for me. You got everybody.
She's Bill Murray at the end of the original Space Jam.
Pretty much, yeah. Like she had that one thing that she wants to be like, okay, I'm good. So she's willing to go out on a big win and hasn't had, or she's waiting to go out on a big win and hasn't had one yet, according to God. Stands to reason that Kennedy would want to retire. She's 71 years old and has enjoyed a long and highly lucrative career in Hollywood. However, if recent projects are indicative of what the studio under her leadership is capable of, we might be stuck with Kathleen Kennedy for a very long time. The Acolyte, for example, had an atrocious showing on Disney Plus, with the audience scores on Rotten Tomatoes falling as low as 13% during the show's initial run. It's at 17% now. The Acolyte also vanished from the Nielsen's top 10 streaming shows after just 4 episodes. That Podcast editor-in-chief John F. Trent also pointed out that the Leslie Headland-led action series lost 75% of the Star Wars audience that tuned in for season 2 of The Mandalorian for the finale. Kennedy has also announced a plethora of Star Wars projects that never saw the light of day. This includes a trilogy by The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson, a Rogue Squadron movie by Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins, a film by Marvel studio head Kevin Feige, and a film by Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and Dan Weiss. With Kennedy's current Lucasfilm contract reportedly set to expire in October, it'll be interesting to see if Disney renews her or if Lucasfilm might be searching for a new studio head. Oh boy, yeah, dude. So we might be stuck with her for a very long time if this is what's happening here, because
forever.
Well, look at what they've got coming up. So she's done in October. So if God forbid, allegedly in October, but God forbid they renew her, like, does she think this Rey movie is going to be the thing that's going to save her legacy? Because nobody's going to go see that either.
No, I just don't get it. Sometimes it's just easier to just bow out. I gave it a shot. I'm going to bow out. No one's going to talk about her failed tenure because she's very protected. Right. She's clearly juiced in. She clearly knows where the bodies are buried. So it's just going to be her taking over Lucasfilm is going to be a little footnote. We're not going to drill down on all the failures. And listen, I will give the devil its due. Yes, that awful sequel trilogy made a crap ton of money. Yes, Rogue One made a crap ton of money. She made the studio some money, and then there's the rest of the story. Just don't tell the rest of the story and go home.
But you know what? Here's the thing: the sequel trilogy made money, yes, but it made diminishing returns. I believe the highest grossing one was the first one, and then The Last Jedi made less, and then The Rise of Skywalker made less. They all were profitable, but it was diminishing returns over time, and that's what led to Solo losing money. And that's why we haven't had a theatrical release since The Rise of Skywalker. She effectively killed the entire franchise. And then not to mention what she did to Willow, what she did to Indiana Jones. I think Indiana Jones was what she thought was going to be the thing that she could ride out. Chris said that on the show. Chris was like, oh, I think she thought that could have been Indiana Jones. And then we saw it was one of the biggest financial disasters to ever befall a studio ever in the history of Hollywood.
Because for some bizarre reason, people like her seem to think that people want to see their heroes broken down, old, dejected, and the perfect endings that they got. Even though Crystal Skull was not the greatest of movies, the story was over. Indy was happy. He was married. He had a son. So we break him up. We kill the kid off screen, and he's a miserable old man who's a laughingstock. And
but the second part of that equation has to rear its head. It's got to be the girl who is amazing at everything has to come in and prove that she's so much better than him at all things.
The bestest ever brunette, usually British,
snarky British brunette,
be better than everybody at everything. And like, no one wants to see this. We've told you this 1,000 times. It's like the sponge. It's like that. How many times do you have to tell you, old man? No one wants to see this. You did it to Luke, and you killed Hasbro.
I know, and by extension, you and I are going to do a full video on this in the future, Kev, because I really want to make this point. By killing Hasbro, Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy killed the Power Rangers because they're liquidating the Power Ranger franchise now because they're just they're like bankrupt now. Getting the Star Wars merchandise sales is the golden goose. It's the thing that toy companies have scraped and clawed over each other for decades to get.
Yep.
And now this Hasbro gets it and it bankrupts them because nobody wants to buy a Rose Tico action figure. Could you imagine anyone trying to buy like a Mama Yass action figure from the Acolyte at OSHA or May? Like, ugh.
They're gonna try.
Of course they're gonna try. I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure they'll be clogging up the $4.99 bin at any point in time.
Listen, I saw the next wave of lines that are coming out at San Diego, and I'm like, oh, there isn't an original trilogy action figure in any of these. So we've got 3 waves of peg warmers coming out. Ooh, this is going to be fun. It's a good time to be a Hasbro employee.
Chris Gore was at San Diego Comic-Con, and when he was on the show with us, he said that he saw no Acolyte cosplay. He saw one person dressed as Smilo Ren and nothing else. The entire con, nobody cosplaying the Acolyte. There was a booth with all the costumes and stuff, and nobody was there. Like, it's just so deeply unpopular. It's not. A lot of people are afraid that at D23 they're going to somehow spitefully announce a season 2 because Asian Ezra Miller, Manny Jacinto is going to be there. But God, I really hope not. I really, really hope not.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know how we exercise this demon. I guess you're right. We're all gonna have to really sit down and pretend that we want to watch Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
So I guess everybody.
I for one welcome our new heroes of Skeleton Crew.
So everybody, sit down, take every single device in your house, log into Disney Plus, and we'll all watch it at the exact same time twice.
You don't actually have to watch it, folks. Just let it play. Just let it play on mute somewhere in the background, and then go on Rotten Tomatoes and say you liked it. And be like, the best thing ever. Kathleen Kennedy's great. And then if we say enough positive things about her, eventually she'll just fade away like the spirits into the cornfield at the end of Field of Dreams. Can we at least hope for that?
Her weakness is positive energy.
Yes, you have to praise her so she'll go away. What do you guys think? We're turning the question over to you. Do you think we will ever see the end of Kathleen Kennedy? Do you think Disney will pull the plug on her, or do you think she'll be allowed to stay until she wants to go? And will she ever get that big win? I mean, on the one hand, it's uplifting to know that she wants to leave, but at the same time, knowing that Kathleen Kennedy won't walk out the door without a huge win under her belt deflates our hopes and dreams for a better tomorrow in a galaxy far, far away. Because if there's one thing modern Lucasfilm seems utterly incapable of, it's winning. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope you'll check us out Thursday nights for Tooney Talk TV, a live stream pop culture podcast. It is a great way to make your voice heard as part of the Tooney Town community. And of course, please check out our pro wrestling channel, Tooney Town Wrestling, where we got Headlock Headlines. We've got Tooney Talk Wrestling. We've got so much going on there every single day over at Tooney Town Wrestling. And of course, check out That Game Place, the That Pog Place Gaming channel, where I'm a regular host. If you like what you saw here today, folks, please like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell icon to get notified of new videos as they drop. For all of us here on the Tooney Town Networks, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!